Well, hello and welcome back. Thanks for coming back. We've come to the body shop and we're going to go and have a look around and see one or two of the projects that are on the go. I've arrived in my Peugeot, which so far has been a very, very good car indeed, by the way. Lots of people wonder about those little Peugeots, but they run very, very well. We've got one or two projects on the go. This is a friend of one of the workers. He's bought himself a Toyota, and of course he's quite a clever guy and he wants it all done up. Next door to that is one of our favourite cars, and I have a soft spot in my heart for these cars. I think they are the greatest cars in the world. In the UK, it's known as a Honda Jazz. In Cyprus and Japan, it's known as a Honda Fit. This is pretty much the last generation of the Model 1, so this is a June 2007. It's in pretty good nick, but it's got one or two little nicks and the roof is starting to fade, and the young man that owns it wants to have a little bit of love and attention on it. Next door to that is yet another Honda, and of course this one is a Honda Civic Saloon. It's a hybrid, and one of the first hybrids that came into production quite a long time ago, and this one's from 2006. But I tell you what, it drives very, very smoothly indeed. So let's go into the body shop and let's see what's on the go. I think we've just finished painting the front wing and a few other bits and bobs on a Nissan Note. So let's pop into the body shop and the spray booth and have a quick look, and then I'm going to take you around and show you one or two of the other little jobs that are on the go, and of course introduce you to one of the superstars or so that's in charge of the show in the body shop. So let's go and have a look. We're going to go into the booth, so stick with us. Here we go. As I was saying, here is a Nissan Note. Quite a popular car around the world, very, very popular in Cyprus, and one of the preferred choices for hire cars. So this is some of the work that we have been doing. It had a bit of a nick on its front. And a gash on its front wing. So it's all been fettled back into shape, shall we say. A little smidge of filler has gone on, and then of course primered, all sanded down, and then of course we have painted it, and we believe we've got a very good match indeed. Quite hard to get matches on lots of different colours, but this is one of those awkward colours. But we do believe that that will be a perfect match, and we do believe that the gentleman will be able to take it back to the hire car company and get his excess back, because this gentleman had an excess of 1,200 euros on this car, and of course we've only charged him 350 euros. But if you understand, if you've got an excess on a hire car and you damage it, they take all of it. One or two people know that, and one or two people think perhaps, no, they'll only charge me about 300. No, they're going to take every single penny. So if you have got a hire car and you're in Paphos and you damage it, why not come and see us? And of course, we'll make sure that you get it done that little bit cheaper, shall we say. Let's go knock off the lights in the booth and let's save the planet that little bit. And that is how we do it, shall we say. There you go. And they're off. Let's save that little bit of money, shall we? So, what else is on the go? Well, there's always something going on in a body shop, isn't it? We've got one or two bumpers which are being sanded down. Little smidge of filler's gone on that corner there, as we can see. Of course, that's all going to be sanded down and primered, and then of course it's going to be brought back into life. And here's the rear bumper, and it's actually off a Honda Integra. So quite an old car, if you remember it, from the, what should we say, very, very early 90s, but a gentleman has got one and he wants to keep it in tip-top condition, so he's chosen us to make sure that it is all right. Now, one or two of the crew are in place. We've got Ahmad, we've got the Grumpy Man, the greatest manager in the world, Hassan. We've got Hassan's son. He's waving at us now. He's understood he's on camera. Here we've got another hire car. It's one of those Renault things. Not that there's anything wrong with Renaults, and it's got a little bit of damage on it. Not a bad car, this, by the way. I actually think they're quite good, so if you are thinking about getting one, perhaps. They're quite modern inside. And this one's got a bit of bling bling with the blue lights, see that? All lighting up in the centre console and actually on the door cards as well. So very, very nice car indeed, to be honest. Quite a nice car, if you're traveling around the city. Anyway, what damage has it got? I've got a bit of sun damage on the rear wing, and unfortunately it's backed into something that was sticking out of a wall. So the gentleman has asked us to put it right, otherwise the hire car company again is going to zap all of his excess on his credit card. So we're going to charge him again €350 to put it right, and of course he's going to get his €800 of excess back from the hire car company. So we might be making money, but at the same time we are helping people as well. Now, they appear to have finished this little job. When I first came in, what they were doing was masking up this lower black section on the Suzuki, and then they were going to flick some black paint over it, and as we can see, it has all been completed, and the little scuff that was on it has been done as well. There is a little scuff there, isn't there? But that wasn't the one that we were commissioned to repair, shall we say. So that's some of the jobs that are going on in the body shop today. And now and again, we do get a nice car, by the way. See that? We've got one of these in stock. A GLE 350 4MATIC, big four-wheel drive Mercedes. Again, a very, very nice car indeed. There's no doubt about it. If you want a jacked up four-wheel drive that's not too big, this could be the car for you. And we got one of our mates on the other side mucking around in the inner wheel arch. It's all come loose. He's gone over a pothole, banged in, the wheel's gone up. He damaged his wheel, we refurbed the wheel, and then of course we're now putting the inner section right. So what else have we got on the go? Well, we've got a big pickup under a cover over there. That's going to come in for some treatment. We've got another hire car parked over there, which again is one of my favourite cars, isn't it? Honda Jazz. And of course this one is from 2015, and this is the one that probably moved the game on for Honda. All the practicality of the first one, but it rode that little bit smoother, rode that little bit more comfortable. Of course its reliability goes without question. Hugely practical car. Do you want a quick look inside it? Hondas are hugely popular all around the world, even in the UK, aren't they? But of course everyone knows they are that bit more expensive than, let's say, a Ford Fiesta. But in my opinion, if you buy yourself a Honda Jazz, you'll probably buy another one, by the way, because one thing's for sure, it will never ever let you down. And on top of that, it's unbelievably practical. And these rear seats, if you understand, actually lift up. And I always think, they call them magic seats. I think it's an absolutely brilliant idea. You literally grab that and pull it up, and of course that then folds down. And look, if you want to stand up, I don't know, a house plant or something, you can do it without putting all the rear seats down and those kind of things. I think it's a brilliant, brilliant idea. To put it back down, all you do is pull that up and drop it down. There you go, see? Absolutely wonderful. And you can see all the space in the back. Definitely that will carry 3 people with ease. I wouldn't want to go on that longer journey, but of course if you're only whizzing around a town, it will carry quite a lot of people. And I keep on showing people the boot area, because there's no doubt about it, it is very, very practical indeed. Look at the size and the depth of that boot. And of course, with all hatchback cars, those seats fall forward and it turns itself into a minivan. Yeah, great little car, it really is. As I say, in Japan and in Cyprus, because this is where this one has come from, they're called a Fit. You know them in the UK as a Honda Jazz. And they are a jazzy, jazzy little car. And in my opinion, probably one of the best cars in the world. Let's take you back into the body shop and let's go and see what's going on. You never know, they might be polishing something or masking something up, and you might get to see what goes on in the real world of a body shop. Yeah, we're not the most advanced body shop in the world. This is downtown Cyprus, by the way, where people want things done, shall we say, on the cheap. And of course, they then come to the smaller body shops around the world. In this case, we're in downtown Cyprus. Now, we've got a man over here called Abdullah. Abdullah,
good morning.
Why are you not working?
I'm working. I finished this now.
You've finished that, and now what are you going to do?
I'm going to ring the
You're going to do the rims. We're going to polish them.
No, but color.
Ah, okay. So as I was saying, a couple of the rims are damaged. Abdullah has shown us now. We've got a nasty scuff on that one right there. So we're going to grind them all out and make sure that they are right. And as I was saying, this is what was going on at the front. We were having major trouble getting the bolts out. So they actually welded onto the boats to be able to get them out, because again, this wheel has been rather badly damaged when it went into that pothole. So, I'm going to watch a man at work. He's going to be jacking this big Merc up. And you've always got to be very careful when you're jacking up these cars, by the way, because the jacking mounts are in certain places. And of course, if you get it wrong, you can go straight through the plastic undercarriages. So if you do happen to have a puncture and you are getting out your jack, please get on your hands and knees and find the location for the jacking point. Don't just put it under the front wing. Otherwise, you're going to end up with a lot bigger bill than just a puncture, shall we say. Do you want to watch him carefully jack this car up? Boring, but this is a fact of life, isn't it? There we are, car's going up. He's getting his back into it. He's decided it's not quite in the right location. It's quite technical jacking the car up, by the way. You watch these people whizzing it underneath, and then often the car slips, or it slips and damages perhaps the runner down the side or the front wing. So please, if you are jacking up your car or anyone else's car, be very careful indeed. And here's the boss. Ahmed's come to have a look. He's wondering about my new camera. Do you like it?
Yeah.
Yeah, he likes it. Thought he would. There we are. Nice and small. Now we're going to make sure that everything is done right, because when the jack comes out, the car can slip. So put an axle stand underneath it. And again, you've got to set it to the right place. There it goes. Into place it goes. Then we're going to drop it down again. And now, of course, we consider the car to be safe. And we're going to see if we can get this rear wheel off without having to weld onto the bolts. Like I was saying, this gentleman entered a pothole. The front wheel took quite a battering, and we think it bent the bolts actually in the wheel itself. Yeah, you understand how hard he hit it. And of course then he scuffed all the rear wheel as well. So we've been commissioned to repair his inner wheel arch and to make sure that we can refurb his wheels. So as we can see, we're still having trouble getting this bolt off the car. There we are. He's got it out eventually. Absolute superstar. It's taken about 2 hours, by the way, to correct the damage to the bolts and to get them off. So obviously we're going to need new bolts. We're going to refurb the 2 wheels, and that gentleman will pick his car up in a couple of days, and he'll be very happy indeed. And I'm pretty sure that he will continue to keep on coming back to us. There he is, greatest manager in the world. He's checking on something. It won't start. That's because we've had it sitting around for too long, probably. So we're going to get this one jump started, run it around the block, and make sure that everything's right. But I say our job was to repair that lower black valance, which was all scuffed up. See, this is how you do it. You push it up to the Renault. Then we're going to go and open the bonnet on the Renault. And then, of course, we're going to be using the jumping leads, which are coming over now. There we are. This is what goes on in a body shop, by the way, all over the world. Often, perhaps it could be our fault for not starting the cars up enough, or often, even though they might be quite new cars, perhaps the people that own them are not driving them that much. So of course, if they sit standing for a day or two, then the batteries go flat. But don't worry, once they're jumped, carefully, correctly by the way, make sure you don't ever cross the earths, because it's very easy, especially when you're disconnecting the battery, to touch the positive and the negative. And of course that will cause major problems to the battery and the electric system on the cars. Again, all bonnets are, their latches are in different places, so it's sometimes quite complicated, and you have to remember where all those different latches are. There we are. Hassan, the expert, knows where it is. He's having a good look. Doesn't want to put his mobile phone down. He's thinking about getting a frappe as well. Have you found it? There we go. This one's got gash struts, which makes it so much easier. On goes the connectors. That one.
No, this one. Plus, no plus. 1 minute. Dog mixed up. Another red.
These modern cars, by the way, do make it quite complicated. They try and hide absolutely everything because they want you to take it back to the main dealer, even for a simple thing like jump starting it. But I say, take your time and be very, very careful and make sure that the connections are separate. There we go. Car started. Now we're going to disconnect. And this is when you want to make sure that you do not touch the positive and the minus together. There we go. That car is started up. That car is finished. And that car will be going back to its customer very, very soon indeed. Let's go back outside and see what's going on with the Mercedes. As we can see, he's had a nice easy job getting that rear wheel off. It's off the big boy Merc. And he's still monkeying around with the front wheel because one or two of the bolts, like I've said, were, well, the best word to describe it is bent, isn't it? That's what we're going to call it, because it had a massive, massive impact. And we can see all of the scuff, by the way, all the way around the actual outer edge of the wheel. And the question is, when we take it off, there could even be a buckling on the inside of that wheel. He's just checking and putting another axle stand on the car, because it's quite a heavy car, there's no doubt about it. So hopefully you've enjoyed this little insight into what it's like in the real world in a body shop. Yeah, often when you go and watch videos on body shops, everything's spotlessly clean because they've prepped all that for that video, and the man or the girl doing the jobs is spotlessly clean as well. This is real world, and we have a great reputation. Customers come back to us over and over and over again. They bring us some lesser cars, shall we say, like that one. When it goes back out, it'll look amazing. And of course, we get an awful lot of cars from hire car companies and from customers who have rented them from hire car companies. And of course, we get an awful lot of high-end cars as well. And I do think that this is a rather nice car, by the way. So if you are looking for a nice big Mercedes four-wheel drive, this is the coupe version of the GLE. 350 diesel, that means it's got a 3-litre V6 diesel engine, puts out about 275 brake horsepower, goes like the clappers, obviously, and of course you can normally transcend a manhole or two. In this case, this gentleman was that little bit unlucky. Oh, and by the way, if you're curious to know about these wheels, we're doing these ones at the same time, by the way. Look at that one, what a mess. But of course, this is our modern roads, isn't it? Potholes from hell, inulations, as I say. And this is what happens to your rather nice wheels. They get battered. And his back one, yeah, it's a little bit better, but it's nothing perfect, shall we say. So all four wheels are going to be refurbed, but we've got a belief that the front inside wheel may have some inner damage on the inner rim of the wheel as well. If it has, we'll get it all knocked out and straightened and refurb. And of course, these wheels will be all done by hopefully tomorrow. If they are, I'll bring you back and take you and show you the finished event. So let's have a quick walk through and see what else is going on. This is the sitting area, by the way. That's where we like to have a sit and chill out and discuss what's going on. And of course, there's always a frappe or two. But we do have a slightly more civilized area, which is called an office, which is just over here. So if you do come and join us, you'll get to sit on quite a nice sofa, you see, while you hand over a couple of bob to the man who is sitting there. And we've got some nice pictures on the wall as well. And this is some of the paint system. Some of the tints. One of these days, if you come back for one of our videos, I'll take you on the process of how we mix up your paint. So we'll start with the car, we'll show you how to find the paint code, and I'll take you and show you on a computer, and then we'll show you different tints that we would mix together to make that colour. So there's more and more coming to the channel, and if you do like what you see, hit that like, smash that subscribe, and please don't forget to keep on coming back for that little bit more of my complete and utter madness as I take you on my adventures, buying cars, selling cars, repairing cars. That's bodywork and mechanics. And you never know, we might even teach you a little trick or two. You can also help us out by funding us on the Buy Me a Coffee platform. That's where you could buy us a virtual coffee or two. And of course we do thank you very, very much indeed from the bottom of our two hearts. There it is in all of its glory. And there's one or two guys working very, very hard indeed. Often we start at 6 in the morning, and often we don't finish until 6 at night. And on many, many nights, it can be an awful lot later. So don't forget to keep on coming back to join the adventures of Paul and cars. Thanks for watching. See you again very, very soon indeed.